Believe me, I know.
You know that, yeah. We all know that.
I have the same issue. Are you the oldest
Right.
child?
I'm the youngest child. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Youngest, yeah.
I feel like as the oldest child, that's why I was given the gift or curse of people pleasing.
Yeah, I think it probably came from, honestly, a lot of the religious upbringing I had of just, making sure I was a good kid, out of fear of some religious stuff. But yeah, I had to slow down, which is not what I do. I'm constantly occupying my time, not because I can't sit still, but I just really enjoy life and I enjoy doing things and I enjoy creating. I love creating, be it music or be it, I'm always like tinkering on our house with like little renovation projects or on some of our income properties. I'm always updating things just because I want to. I'm kind of always doing stuff, and I find a lot of joy in creation. I find a lot of joy in watching things get done. So I had to 100% readjust and really learn once again that my value and worth is not determined by how much I can get done. I sometimes really get off to that, honestly, of being like, oh, I did X amount of songs, or oh, I was able to do this plus do this. And it's really like, no one cares. That's really what it comes down. Like, I care. And I don't even really talk about, I try to stay humble, I'll say, and like not advertise a ton of the things, the great things that have happened. But there's really, it's really just, I need to constantly be getting my ego and pride in check. That's kind of what it comes down to. So I want to always do things because then I think people will see it and then I think they'll praise me and that gives me affirmation and that makes me happy. But during the last year or so, I've really had to learn once again of that. This was like the community thing. Like, people liked me just because of me, and I got to see that firsthand. Like, they would come bring meals just because they knew I was hungry. They would drive me to the doctor's appointment, not because of records I've done. Maybe I met them through music, but they were coming over because they cared about me, like on a soul, like a core foundational level. And that's such a pretty thing, once again, to have that sort of community and for me to accept help. That's kind of been like the mantra this past year that I've been trying to tell other people is like, get freaking help. Ask for help, make your needs known to people and watch how the universe provides. Put it to the test. If you're feeling isolated out there from COVID and your business is isolated, ask for help. Pick the brain of somebody, call somebody, DM somebody, fight for that community and fight for genuine relationships that can start from music, but allow them to go deeper if they can. That's something that I feel like I really needed to learn or relearn this past year, which was like, my worth and value is not determined by what I get done. I am not my work. I am not my accomplishments. I am Sam.
That's a mantra. I see you. It's a mantra I see you posting all the time on your Instagram stories.
And I post it because it's just for me. It's for me. It's for everybody, but it's for me. Like, the Instagram is just an extension of what I need to hear for the day. And I've just found, because we're all humans, most of it connects with everybody. We all kind of have the same fears and desires and wants and needs. And so I've found with Instagram, that's my like Instagram hack, which became just like, I post only what I want to post. I'm not thinking and calculating like, I wonder if I said this, if that'll reach a bunch of people. Like, I'm literally just like, I like this watch. I like that house rental. I like that dog. I like that quote. I thought about this in the shower, so I wrote that down when I got out. Post that. This guy just ate it on a skateboard. That's funny. And then that's it, and that's my social media content curation. And, it's easy. It takes me like 5 minutes a day. And that's the only way I can make social media work for me. And it turns out other people, like following along to that stuff too. So that works out well. But I've always tried to tell people, like, this is just a side tangent, but it's like, you got to figure out, I think social media is super important, But I think you got to figure out how to make it work on your own terms. Otherwise, it's just this exhausting, like fake front feel. Like I think a lot of people go through. And
I just think on that front, like you were kind of like the way you were even talking about your relationships now, it's like, I think we're maybe moving past the fake, Facebook friend thing from like a decade ago.
Correct.
And now we're moving into this new era of the internet where there's, IG messaging and there's Discord and, there's the Twitch streams that I don't do but seem cool.
Right.
And we're moving into this kind of new era of the internet where, people are just Zooming.
Right.
Like you just get on a Zoom, no problem.
Right.
It's not just about like, so I think we're maybe at a time where the connections over the internet can get a bit more deep.
Totally.
Although I'm not at all interested in living in any sort of metaverse. I don't give two fucks about that. But yeah, but I was also thinking when you were talking about that, how it's like when you're younger, you think the experience that you're going through is only yours.
Correct.
And that's like a point that makes you depressed, or makes you think like, oh man, I'm the only guy that deals with this. This is so hard.
Right.
And then when you get older, you realize like everybody was going through something like that. Or there's every one of me, there's millions of others just like me going through the exact same situation.
Right. Totally.
And you're so not alone, but you think you're so alone when you don't know that.
Right.
But as you get older, you realize that like what I experienced, as a teenager is very similar to what a lot of people experienced as a teenager.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like that common humanity. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
We're all going through this together, and we kind of just need to realize that, or open our eyes to see that other people are going through this at the same time. And, like you said, reach out,
Right. Yeah. It's, I mean, I would say that's how I am. The older I get, the more I see how what I'm doing and have done is not new or original. And, there's certain things we all do that are unique, and I believe in that, but it is, as I get old, I mean, I'll be 34 in 2 days, which is oldish, older. It's older than 20s. It's not old.
Can't argue that you're in your mid-30s anymore.
Correct, yeah.
We're going to be the exact same age for like 2 months.
So. I love that. Synced up. See? The same thing.
Until March.
Right.
And then I'll beat you again.
Then you'll be up on me?
I'll be up on you. I'll just be old, and you'll be young.
I'll be young. You'll be on your way to 40, and I won't be there yet.
Yeah, let's not rub it in, okay?
Closer to 40 than 30.
Better to get closer to 40 than not to get closer to 40.
That's true. But yeah, anyway, I feel like, you can go through life being really scared of it. And, as you get older, hopefully you're able to share your life with people and find that community. And you learn quickly that you are not alone in pretty much anything. And also, one of the comforting things with therapy and counseling is like, there's literally experts in everything. Like, you can find someone who's an expert even within therapy specific to, like me, like car accidents, PTSD car accident stuff, or like whatever you think is unique to you. There's literally probably someone who's an expert with and there's probably 100 other experts in that field, and books and podcasts and communities and groups, and therapies that are there. And you just got to be willing to take the step to get help, which is hard because it's often embarrassing. A lot of times too, I think for a lot of people, and this was me when I was going more consistently to counseling, was like, it just costs a lot of money. And when you are building a business or you're in music, you're already, when you're starting or for a while, as you're growing a company, you might not have money. And so it's really easy to be like, when I'm not paycheck to paycheck, then I'll go get help. When I'm not doing this, then I'll go pay for the therapy, or I'll go take some time for myself. And for me, I learned that when I started doing counseling, we got a new credit card and we just put it on. This was a while ago, many years ago. We just put all of it on a credit card with like the intention of like, we'll just pay it off at some point. Like, my mental health is more important than figuring out this credit card bill right now. And what quickly
you can think
happened,
of it as an investment. You know what I mean?
That's such a good, that's great. You're smart. I thought of it as a time. It was something that initially stressed me out even more because I was like,
I'm with you, dude.
Swiping 175 an hour or whatever it was, every time, every week. And, great. He was great. But what I want to say is the investment is the correct way to look at it, because within a month, I started feeling mentally better than I had in years. And my business started to reflect that quickly within a few months of, not that I was treating people poorly, but a lot of times you need new framework. You need to be able to think about things better. A new framework of how do I grow this business, or how do I treat clients better? How do I treat myself better? Have boundaries, so I can be healthy to then, be my best self to my clients, serve them. And so quickly, just like my business started growing, I felt happier. Everybody I felt like was happier. And then, I paid off the credit card stuff within a few months, thankfully. And I quickly saw, man, the best investment, and this cheesy, is yourself, always. Like, we know that. But we don't do that a lot because the initial pain and friction feels too great. So we just stay where we are. That's like we stay in our pain body, basically. It's more comfortable to stay in pain, stay slightly stressed all the time, because our identity
doesn't make any sense.
Right. Doesn't make any sense, but we do it to ourselves, and we stay in these cycles of pain because our brains you can program your brain. That's what you've done. You've programmed your brain to be a pain body, essentially, as opposed to being someone who's trying to heal and grow and expand. So it's important to get help and get out of those cycles, especially for the creative audio world.
Hey everyone, you may have heard me mention before that I recently started a Discord server for the podcast. If you want to join the conversation over there, you can find a link in the show notes or on the homepage of this podcast at secretsonics.co. In the coming days, I'm going to be sharing a sample pack there with some of my own personal samples that I use all the time in my productions. This pack will only ever be shared on the Secret Sonics Discord server, so I hope to see you there soon. All right, back to the episode. It's interesting to think about what actually pushes you over the edge. You know what I mean? Like, so I've actually been in therapy now for a few months. It's been super helpful.
Good.
And the other thing that I did, which was also super helpful, was hire a business coach. My buddy Carl Bonner, who's been on the show.
Awesome.
And like instantly, just like we were talking about like a snow globe effect. I had so much shit going on at the same time. I couldn't see through anything.
Yep.
And then once I kind of just, even after like our first session, I was just able to kind of like, it just gave me the power to kind of clear through all that shit.
Right.
And then take control over my life. And that was like massive.
That's
like
amazing.
Paid for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like these things are, once like you don't realize how much investing in yourself can actually really just instantly pay dividends. But it's like interesting to think about what actually causes you to like go over the cliff and say, you know what, I'm just doing this.
Right.
And I was just telling my therapist, like, yeah, you know what, that's it. I just started delegating the podcast edit. He's like, why did you all of a sudden just do all of this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. It's just like at a certain point, it's like, okay, this is it. I just need to do this.
Right.
I got it in my head like a bug. Like I need to find a protege. I need to find somebody that I could train to edit the way I edit, and then delegate some work to them, and then pay them and teach them and mentor them. And like, so now I'm working with this guy Gavi who's helping me edit the show. Yeah. Shout out. And it's just like, I don't know what it was. At a certain point, I was just like, I need to do this. Like, it just got into my head.
100%.
What? I mean, I remember you telling me about like a pivotal moment that kind of pushed you over the edge, I think, to get therapy back.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, one of the second time I had been to therapy during like middle school, junior high. I struggled with being homesick. Really, I think it was like panic disorder of not feeling safe for some reason. And so I started kind of counseling when I was super young. And I didn't even know what it was then. I just was talking to somebody, our therapist at school, the counselor. Kind of worked through that over a few years. And then, I mean, the big thing here in Nashville was like the CMA Fest thing, like the country music festival that goes on here. It's always in the dead of summer, and it's just like ungodly hot. And this would have been 7 years ago, I think. I was just like hungover, 10 a.m. down at the riverfront stage, and Cadillac 3, the band came on and just like ripped my head off with the first like downbeat. Like shook my soul. It was overstimulating. And I just had a full-blown like panic attack in the middle of the crowd. I ran out of the show, ran up, thought I was dying or something. Excuse me, I think I just spit. Recovering from COVID.
Hopefully your manly can deal with that.
Yeah, it can. It was this way. I got a pop filter, the spit filter.
Yeah.
I just like started running up a hill, like panicking, trying to get out of this thing because I thought I was like dying and overheating, and I thought I was having